What's going on, beautiful people? My name is Sean, and we are back with another reaction video. Today we're reacting to a YouTuber by the name of Decoy Voice. This guy is incredible. I've got his channel linked below in the description. Give him a subscribe, give him a like, show him some love. He's always posting just really short bits of content on his take on things and what's going on in the world. And today we're reacting to one of his videos, and it's on our favorite people in the world, the media. I enjoyed watching it. Hopefully so will you. Let's take a look. All right, let's see what we got.
As President Donald Trump and Elon Musk continue to use Doge to dismantle government overspending like USAID, the media goes into a frenzy, desperately trying to convince the public that frivolous spending was a good thing.
In Cambodia with a team that clears landmines and leftover explosives, but a freeze in U.S. foreign aid funding around the world could seriously upend progress.
Cambodia is one of the most heavily contaminated landscapes on the planet, littered with tons of bombs, bullets,
Jesus.
and landmines, left over from years of brutal civil strife and a lot from U.S. bombing campaigns during the Vietnam War. The State Department has been a major backer of demining groups here.
With American
Makes
aid
sense.
drying up in places like Cambodia, projects everywhere will depend on other countries to fill that funding gap, including China.
Oh no! China might have to spend their money on humanitarian aid on the continent that they share. How dare we expect them to contribute? We better immediately resume sending billions of dollars to minesweeping and underwater basket weaving, just so the Chinese can continue focusing on bolstering their navy.
Okay, not a bad point. Not a bad point. I mean, doing the minesweeping in Cambodia doesn't necessarily sound like a bad thing, especially if it's so bad as they say. I mean, we'd want to step in and help, right? But it's not the craziest thing in the world to be like, hey, China, you're kind of like right there. Why not you guys help a little bit too? So I mean, I'm with him.
Almost like these newscasters don't even listen to themselves, or even proofread what they're writing, as a caption over this clip is US aid freeze, which is actually what they wanted you to think USAID was, or aid to other countries, when it's really the United States Agency for International Development, meaning
Right.
spreading liberal initiatives to third world countries that have zero
Oh,
of
man,
the
I
cultural
hope he talks
issues we
about some
have
of
in
these.
America. But sure, help inject DEI programs into Burmese scholarships
Right.
and LGBT initiatives in Cambodia, all behind the guise of sweeping landmines on the side. As I do understand, landmines
Yeah, it's like laundering your aid. It's like laundering the fact that we're doing all this pointless shit behind like one or two good things.
terrifying. But it's not like once the local residents stop receiving checks from the American taxpayer, they'll just shrug their shoulders and say, I guess I'll just let my kids' limbs get destroyed. No. They'll find a way to take care of the issue, or better yet, their local government can use their resources to take care of their issues. And this isn't
Right,
me
yeah,
being
crazy
callous to the
thought.
fact that American tax dollars from half a century ago may have planted some of those munitions. This is me having absolutely zero faith that if we continue to throw them billions of our dollars in an effort to eliminate their landmine issue, more than 99% of that cash is never actually going to go to protecting their people from landmines. As USAID is an aid, it's $29 million going to improve young Egyptian skills,
Good.
$3 million for the LGBTI experience in the Caribbean, $4 million to fight internet trolls in Kazakhstan,
Perfect.
and even when we spend here locally, there was $59 million for hotels in New York City.
This is just baffling. This is baffling. I mean, it's great that we want to, improve reading in Zambia, but it's like, we got problems here. Do we need to be dropping 50 mil on that? I don't know. What are your thoughts? Drop them in the comments.
But for the migrants. And remember, we covered the crisis in NYC at length, then discovered that we house migrants in the Roosevelt Hotel for millions, proposing an additional $220 million, all going to Pakistan. As Pakistan's government owns the Roosevelt Hotel in America, who is now being handsomely compensated to assist in the destruction of New York City. But as long as we label all this as aid and life-saving, the news media can prance around in the public's face, trying to shame us into continuing this obvious scam. As the
Right.
politicians are now claiming eliminating fraud is unconstitutional.
What is going on in
What?
this country, not only with education, but with other institutions, is the president is operating in a very authoritarian, illegal, and unconstitutional
Illegal way, huh?
Then other Democrat senators go on ABC to echo that same sentiment.
A constitutional crisis, grossly unconstitutional, pretty alarming language.
Yeah, listen, I think this is the most serious constitutional crisis the country has faced, certainly since Watergate. The president is attempting to seize control of power and for corrupt purposes.
What?
And now CNN parrots their talking points.
And tonight, there are warnings that the U.S. is dangerously close to a constitutional crisis.
There it is.
Then NPR, The
Jesus,
Intercept,
man.
Fox
They
News.
all run the exact same words. They're all just talking heads with the same script writer. It's so funny to me when people put together compilations of like every single news agency saying like the exact same words. It's like, that's got to tell you something, right? Right?
News, the New York Times, Yahoo, MSNBC, AP, and basically everybody is echoing the so-called constitutional crisis we're currently facing. And there's a reason this meme took off, I think, in late 2020.
Yeah.
First it was 15 days to slow the curve. Then it was lockdowns and masks.
Then
it was get this
This is a great point. This was especially prevalent during 2020 and everything that happened then. Like, I think that's when people really started to see it.
injection, then support this war in Eastern Europe, then vote Kamala to save democracy, and now Doge is a constitutional crisis.
And more recently, big balls, right?
Suddenly and all at once, every single news outlet all says the same exact line in the same exact way. It almost seems like we have a Chinese-style state-sponsored media.
Seriously.
As interestingly enough,
Yeah, Politico.
we're finding a lot of
This is a great point. We recently just found out that the government literally gave money to fund Politico. State-funded media. That's literally what it is, except it's not marketed as that. He'll probably go into more detail.
outlets received money directly from the government. Then those same news outlets are telling us to stop looking into government spending.
Yep.
Seems suspicious, especially when they basically championed Biden for notoriously not listening to the law.
Right.
Tens of millions of people's debt was literally about to get canceled. But then some of my Republican friends and elected officials and special interests sued us, and the Supreme Court blocked us. But that didn't stop us. No, I mean it sincerely. We continue to find alternatives paths to reduce student debt payments.
So it's almost like
Yeah, that I knew it from the beginning. That whole like we're gonna cancel student debt or like we're gonna give you guys a bunch of money back for student loans or whatever. It was so obvious to see that was never gonna happen. Like I think everybody knew it. It was a stunt to get him more votes. Didn't work out. And so when he came out and he goes, "Yeah, we're being fought on it, and like we're gonna make it happen," and it never ended up happening. Big surprise.
they're not worried about a constitutional crisis. They're just all looking for their new hotkey phrase that fits on a bumper sticker, so they can all reiterate the same line at the same time to make the normies think Elon uncovering government fraud is against your best interest.
Right.
When in actuality, they only seem to be protecting themselves.
Another point on Elon looking through like the treasury records, which everybody is so pissed about. It's like Elon has come out and tweeted this too. He said, "Why if I wanted to snoop through your personal records and all of your personal data and do something nefarious with it, he's like, wouldn't I have done that when I was at PayPal?" Like I think people forget that he was sort of like the PayPal guy when that first came up and about. He had plenty of records of financial information. Granted, those were people. This is the government. These are people who are paid by the taxpayer. And so shouldn't we know where the money's going? Like it's different with a private corporation. This is your money. Is it the worst thing in the world to know where it's going and know how it's being spent and know how it's being misused and then try to eliminate that? Discuss in the comments.
Watch Fox News dunk on MSNBC for blatantly misinforming their viewers.
Elon Musk has apparently somehow convinced the United States government, specifically the United States Department of State,
So glad they're talking about this.
that the taxpayers of the United States of America should spend $400 million buying, quote, armored Tesla production units. Isn't it great and definitely not at all illegal or profoundly corrupt? Definitely not ripping us all off to pay themselves, right?
Donald Trump didn't give that contract to Elon Musk. Joe Biden gave it to him.
Bam, right there. It's just twisting facts that they see to fit the narrative better, and then of course every agency covers it the exact same way. I mean, it's so obvious to me. Like, I'm not even saying like trust Fox News because it's like sure they're like the one conservative one out there, but it's like they're a news agency just like everybody else. But the thing that is distinct about them is they say stuff different than every other news agency out there. And so it's not like in the crowd of voices that you saw chanting in that meme he showed earlier, right? Don't trust media like at all. Like, you know, you just gotta see the raw, unfiltered feed of news coming through, and then put together your own self-assisted analysis of everything that's going on. Try to do some real research, sift through the bullshit yourself, because people always have interests and they're going to feed you bullshit. So stay away from it. It's baffling to me that people actually still watch the news for news.
Several times on this channel, you'd probably be more informed if you didn't watch the mainstream media, as all they do is misrepresent and twist the facts to fit the narrative of what their corporate sponsors want you to think. And I used to say that in the context of them pushing certain agendas and ignoring certain facts so you take a certain medication. But now I honestly wonder if they're doing the same thing for fraud. But at least the more they struggle against Doge, the more they know they're on the right track. As look at Washington, D.C., almost entirely liberal like the politicians that are freaking out. And exactly 1 week ago, Battle Beagle was wondering what Doge would do to DC real estate. But as of today, it's exploding with new listings, mainly of $1 million to multi-million-dollar properties. How much bloat did Doge just expose? Because they've only started to freeze these government programs, and already all these allegedly rich people can't stay in their DC mansions anymore. Which makes these political freakouts and marches in the streets make a whole lot more sense now. Where if you own a $3 million mansion, you should be making at least $2.3 million annually, which brings me to the final, most satisfying slides. As Google search trends across America for lawyer is pretty consistent throughout the year, but in DC only, it suddenly skyrocketed on nearly the exact date Donald Trump was inaugurated as president, and continues to climb. I know search terms don't definitively mean anything, but it seems awfully suspicious that this is exactly what Trump campaigned on. Having Elon Musk head the meme government agency in Doge to expose the corruption behind where our tax dollars are actually going. Then suddenly the ultra-left DC freaks out, calls up their buddies in the media to call Elon every name in the book. Then they all possibly can't afford their $1 million mortgages anymore, and then they all have to look up their nearest lawyer. I don't know exactly what's happening, but I'm enjoying it every step of the way. So if you appreciate alliteration over my concise, lighthearted commentary on how America's finally back, hopefully I've earned your subscription, and we can chat again soon.
Yeah, this is Decoy Voice. He makes a bunch of videos like this. Go drop him a sub, like his video. I'll put the link in the description below, but he's incredible. At the end of the day, guys, when it comes to this political bullshit, like, I know a lot of you guys get super heated in the comments. You either vehemently agree with me or vehemently disagree with me, and there is really not much in between. I try to keep things as civil as possible. I'll listen to somebody as far left as you can get. I'll listen to someone as far right as you can get. I really don't get emotional about politics. Like, I'm just interested to hear where your guys' thoughts are, what you think, and what everybody's feeling. But when it comes to like this constant stream of information that we get nowadays, especially with the new administration, like, for your own mental health, please just disconnect a little bit. Try to just look at it as an observer. So many of us really can't do anything about it. I mean, if you want to be a full-blown activist and get out on the streets, well, like, all the power to you. But at the end of the day, we can't do all that much. So whether you agree with what's going on or disagree with it, let's talk about it, let's communicate, but let's just stop screaming at each other. When it comes to this stuff, the approach that I take is I'm going to sit back and I'm going to watch, right? I'm going to see what happens. A lot of this stuff, I understand it's controversial, but, it makes sense to me. Cut the funding. Let's see what happens. If we all end up paying more for eggs, or, if our economy goes to the shitter, well, then everybody is going to hate the government as they normally do, and then we'll get a new leader in, 4 years. So, like, ultimately, this is the situation we're in. I'm hoping things will work out. I mean, most of America voted for this administration, so hopefully that the administration does what the people want, and we can fix some of these economic problems. Well, I'll be the first to admit, if all shit hits the fan, I'll be like, damn, what a bad decision. But so far, things seem okay. Things seem okay. We'll see what ends up happening, maybe in the next 2 years. Curious to hear your guys' thoughts on the video. Please drop a comment below what you think. I'll just reiterate, let's keep things civil, guys. Let's keep the energy high. I love all you, no matter what your political beliefs are. We're here to just chat and react to the madness that is our world. Also, quick shameless self-promotion. My Discord is live, link below as well. Follow me over on Twitch. We are affiliate there now. You guys rock. And yeah, we're doing streaming all throughout the week. We're doing new videos all the time. Lots of stuff to react to. If you join the Discord, send me videos to react to. We'll post them here on YouTube. And yeah, that's about it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the reaction. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we will catch you in the next one. Peace.